to another episode of Today with Ray. I'm your host, Rhema T, and today we have the Guns in the house. If you aren't a part of this journey, this show is what highlights everyday entrepreneurs. So make sure you join the journey, hit the subscribe button, like button, share button, all of that good stuff. I have with me today Jeremy and Billie Gunn with JBG Services. How are you guys today?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Great.
We were talking off camera about all the many things that you guys have done just before showing up to this episode and having to still do more stuff afterwards. How do you juggle it all?
Just got a plan. You just got to stay efficient.
Yeah.
You know, get up every morning and do the right things as you go.
Right.
Lots of to-do lists.
Lots of to-do lists. I understand that my calendar, I have to have so many. I have a written calendar. I have it on my phone. I have alarms. I totally get it. So as we open up this episode, tell us a little bit about yourself and the business that you have and why it is that you became an entrepreneur in the first place.
Well, I guess I can start. It's always been a dream of mine to own a business. Mm-hmm. And I think the real push for us was through the season of COVID and looking at the fact that, you know, we're going in, day out, and we're both working in the service industry. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of stress, and we just said, is there another way we can do this? And both of us had some pretty strong accomplishments in our careers, but we always worked for someone. Mm-hmm. And we've known, at least all along, there's probably something greater that we can do. We enjoy being in the community and serving in the community. Mm-hmm. How can we do that more? And so we had to come up with a plan. When Billie and I were really young, we've been together for 23 years.
Amazing.
Married 19.
Okay.
And when we were just kids, we used to paint houses on the side just for a little cash money. Mm-hmm. And make our house payment, you know, and some cash money and just have some fun money.
Yeah.
And so we always joked around, we should open a painting company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it came down to, hey, we should open a painting company.
Yeah.
And it was kind of to start off and see if anything, maybe I could just go to work and mm-hmm. start maybe working a schedule that we could work around mm-hmm. and get out and kind of under the thumb of the emergency service work that I used to do as in the restoration industry and really focus on ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so JBG Services was born just about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think I quit my job in June of 2021 and just started painting. And very shortly we realized we needed to hire some people and start moving forward, and that's where we got started anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Billie, you want to add anything?
Well, it's funny because I was looking at Facebook this morning and I saw my memories. It was 12 years ago today that I became a nurse.
Wow.
So I'm a registered nurse. I'm still practicing. I love being a bedside nurse. I'm critical care. Always been working in critical care, but working in the pandemic as a COVID ICU nurse really kind of gave me some PTSD.
Right, I can only imagine.
Yeah, so but it made me realize there's more to this life than just working for somebody else and mm-hmm. going in, doing your 12 hours and coming home. And like Jeremy said, giving back to the community, it's something we've always wanted to do. So yeah, and he shared that that's what we did back in the day to make extra money was paint, and that's what we knew how to do. And so May of 2021, JBG was born.
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to hear you guys' story kind of come full circle almost of how this is what you did, you know, kind of as a side hustle, and then years later it blossomed into an actual full business. I want to touch on it. You said that you started about 2 years ago, opened up. What did that look like for you guys as far as, you know, quitting your job, taking the risk of entrepreneurship? How did that look? I know, you know, I've talked to plenty of people. It's a scary thing.
Oh, yeah.
So how was that for you guys? Billie, I'll start with you.
Well, it's funny. Jeremy called me one day and he's like, I'm going to quit my job. We're there. We're ready. I've got some jobs lined up and we're going to do this. And I'm all about it. Let's take that leap. So, I mean, it's still COVID time and why not, you know? So, So that's what he did, and I'm still working as a nurse part-time, and so yeah, it is scary. It is scary. It's scary every day, even 2 years later.
Yeah.
Every day it's like, are we making the right move? Are we doing the right thing? But with Jeremy's been 20 years as a manager, he knows his stuff, and he's just been a great leader in this company, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry?
Well, I mean, really, it was that very first day of driving out of the driveway as, well, this is it. Now it's time to make this work. I'll never forget that moment. It was, like Billy said, the day I told her, I said, I'm ready, I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. I ended up having jury duty one of those 2 weeks. So I was out of there pretty quick.
Okay.
And so I had done restoration work prior to us starting this business. So I worked in the insurance restoration world, so I was always on call, always had a phone with me. We lived our lives where at any moment, whatever we were doing, I was always at the capacity that phone call came to me first,
Right.
whether I was delegating the work to get done or I was out doing it myself in the emergency service side. So to put that phone away and to drive out of the driveway that very first day to head out to that first paint job that we were going to do as this is it, this is what we're doing from now on. It was just some time to really reflect and think about, wow, this is real. This is it. I was in paint clothes and I had my gear in my pickup truck, and I don't even think we had a trailer at that time. It was just pickup truck, a few, paint poles, paint rollers and whatnot, go paint a house, and had a couple lined up and enough to pay some bills for a little while and just try to make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a little spooky at first because the phone really wasn't ringing.
Right.
We weren't sure, are we going to run out of work? Are we going to run out of money? What's going to
Right.
happen? And then I want to say it was right about to the point we didn't have any work lined up and the phone rang. We got 4 jobs that I had bids on one day. And I'll never forget coming home to Billy and saying, we got work.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And so I think I was out, my phone was ringing through the week on and off, and I found myself like, wow, phone's ringing, I need to get these jobs done, but at the same time I need to answer these calls and get to these jobs to do these quotes and things. And so we had a talk, and it was time to hire our first employee. And
Amazing.
so we just put our feelers out there
Yeah.
and started to kind of swim in that pool, so to speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hear both of you talk about being community oriented or service oriented. How do those practices look for you guys in your business?
Well, both of us have worked in the service in serving the community type organizations. And Billy is a nurse. Myself working in that industry where people have a fire or have a flood or something, and you're there. You're the first one on site to help these people rebuild their lives. I think for us, it was really just where can we use that. Because that's both of us, it drives us, helping others. And I always say my favorite job before I got involved in the restoration industry was working in adult foster care, because I loved the way it made me feel.
Right.
Didn't pay the bills, but loved the way it made me feel. Billy is an incredible nurse. She's working in ICU. She's working with folks that sometimes are in their last moments of life, and she's there keeping them comfortable. Where can we extend that into the community? So we look for organizations where we can donate not only money but our time. We look at the veterans organizations, animals, we of course love animals. Billy has become an avid member of the Rotary Club, and
Leland.
she can speak to what she does there. But the more we can do that, it really drives us to extend, out of the business and do that sort of thing. So.
It's better than a paycheck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know off camera you were saying that you are part of the Rotary in Leland, North Carolina. Talk to us, for those that may not know what a Rotary Club is and how you put your time and effort in there.
So Rotary is retired or current active business people that want to give their time, and it does cost dues, money to give back to the community. So particularly in Leland, we work on fundraisers for the North Brunswick High School. We do food packing for an elementary school so kids have food for the weekend through the school year. And so how we do that, fundraising. And so we currently working on a fundraiser right now, wine fundraiser.
Okay.
So if you know anybody that loves wine, May 25th is going to be at the Leland Cultural Arts Center from 5 to 8 is our wine fundraiser. And so that's just to raise money, and it's just to give back to the kids, and it's local, and that's what I love about it. So, and currently I'm in the role of being the secretary. Okay. So that's new for me too. I've never been part of a board or anything like that. So it's been real fun and challenging at the same time, but I like being in that leadership role.
That sounds amazing, and I can really feel the passion in the room. I know you guys are watching it, but the passion that you guys, when you talk about, giving back in the community, it really is pure. So I commend you guys for not only exuding yourself as entrepreneurs, because that's a lot, but going above and beyond to make sure that you guys give back in the community also. I want to ask a particular funny question, but you guys are in the paint company, and during COVID, I know a lot of people probably took on some DIY projects that probably weren't fulfilled. Do you guys see that sometimes, like, go in and people have like started stuff and they've called you and like, hey, I really messed this up?
Oh yeah. I mean, you get calls, and sometimes people are embarrassed about it, and sometimes folks are. I love it when it's, well, I could do it myself, but I just don't have time, or but I'm not. I don't have the tall ladder, or this. It's okay. You hire people to do things that they're going to do better than you can. Yeah. Our employees, I mean, both Billy and I can paint quite well. Our employees are better than us, hands down. They're amazing. Yeah. They are amazing. They're great at organization. They work well together. It's taken some time to find that crew, but they're amazing at what they do. But no, I mean, I don't really have anything in particular, but you find a lot of people that really just maybe apply the wrong finish to the wrong thing. Yeah. And so an example would be like a front door. Front door gets a lot of sun exposure, and they might use a paint that they just picked. They didn't know what they were trying to pick. They put it on, and then because of the heat and the sun, the paint peels off that door. Wow. See a lot of stuff like that. And so those corrections, they can be costly. Yeah. But we make sure that it's fixed right, and they don't have to ever worry about it again.
I think, or walking into a home and they've got a bunch of paint swatches that they've painted on the wall and trying to cover that. Yeah. And I had to tell you that yellow and red are the hardest colors to cover. So don't do that.
I can imagine.
And they don't have to start fixing their own walls to help us out.
They don't
have to take mud and spackle in the holes for us. Just leave it alone. Yeah. Let us handle it.
Yeah, it's like the people that clean the house before the cleaners come. Right. Just like, they're the professionals.
Yeah, we'll take care
of them do it. Yeah. So I want to tap in and ask you guys, because this is my first time doing a 2-person interview. Being married and also business partners, how does that look for you guys? How do you guys separate it? Do you guys separate it? Without getting too personal, but I want to know and understand how that is for you guys, especially being with each other probably 24/7 at this point. Billy, I'll start with you.
Well, I think it just comes down to respect. It's like any marriage, regardless if you're in a business or not, you got to respect your partner and respect those boundaries. And yeah, we do. It's at night and we're sitting on the couch and after a long day, and we will debrief about what happened and share like each of our experiences and whatnot. But I think that maybe it's just natural when we know to stop. And, it's just, I can't say that there's, at, 6 o'clock, this is what we're going to do, and we're not going to talk about work anymore. That's just not how it works in our household. And we have 3 dogs, and they're our therapy as well. So I think they help us with separating work and marriage, too. So, I don't know. I'd like to hear Jeremy's thoughts.
Well, I don't shut it off. No, really, honestly, we've got so much, we're driven, there's so much drive and passion in what we're doing, and so many components to what we're doing. We don't. So it's interesting being a business owner. And never owning a business before, you start to learn where your responsibilities are versus where you thought they might be.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of owning a business and you think of all this freedom, and you think of things that okay, we own this, we can do whatever we want with it. Well, sure, but you have people that depend on you.
Absolutely.
And the more you're involved in, the more people depend on you.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, that's very important. And so maybe there isn't just a topic of the business and how we need to do this to make money.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to our employees. We're always looking at ways that we can provide them with a better insurance plan.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We're always thinking of a better retirement setup for them, because we provide our employees with an option for some insurance benefit,
Mm-hmm.
help and assistance, as well as financial advice and a simple IRA retirement. Okay. So there's those folks, and we got to make sure that everything is moving properly and all the equipment they have to use is safe and up to date. And then there's the other side of it. It's okay, well, we've got this thing to be involved in next week with the Rotary, and
Mm-hmm.
where can we put time and effort into that, and how can we help here? And so we don't necessarily shut it on, turn it off and turn it on, but there's topics and
Mm-hmm.
problems that we solve together. And then when we come up with solutions, then maybe we move on to something. But really, there's so much that makes up what JBG is and what our vision of the company is, mm-hmm. and where it's going, that they're really, we're excited to talk about it.
Right.
Honestly, I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to, okay, now what can we do? What's next? And it's exciting when there's something new that we can do, mm-hmm. because honestly, the sky's the limit. We named it JBG Services, not JBG Painting. Services is because we plan on doing things, not just paint.
Amazing. And we can touch in on that, because you mentioned that there's multiple components. It's not just paint.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, we do a lot of custom type stuff.
Okay.
We may do some mural work, or we may, we actually partner with a wallpaper individual. So we also have flooring that we can install. We have a flooring installer, and so we're kind of dabbling into those territories. Mm-hmm. In our showroom, in our shop, we have a showroom that we're putting together to do private consultation and planning for those types of mm-hmm. things. So real custom, real personalized ways of doing things in your home, and how we can make those things happen. Installing light fixtures, helping people make those selections, helping people navigate through the sea of colors that they offer in the paint store, and mm-hmm. bringing that to them so that they can select it. Really taking a level of service and presenting it to the homeowner so that it's an ease and peace of mind in allowing a contractor to come in and perform this work at their house. So everything we can do to facilitate that.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. So for the people that are in Wilmington, North Carolina and the surrounding areas, what type of customers are you particularly looking for?
Well, I think our best customer generally is the homeowner. Mm-hmm. Someone who's in their house, who lives in their house, who really wants to do that upgrade with their walls, or their, take and put a cleanable, washable finish. Now, maybe a homeowner who just purchased a brand new home, and there's that contractor grade flat paint that's on the wall, and they want to. Okay, well, it's
I hate it.
Investing in some
chalk.
Right, yeah, and investing in some color and a finish that feels a little better to touch, has some depth to it. Durability, cleanability. Late Gen Xers that maybe their kids are kind of getting ready to get out of the house or going to college, and now they're ready to clean up the scuffs on the wall from all the growing pains over the years, or that going from a young child into a teenage age, where maybe that teenager gets to pick the color of their mm-hmm. room. So people that live in their homes, appreciate their homes, work hard, ready to invest in that Those are our best customers, absolutely. We work in the home. We keep them functioning.
Okay.
They can use their kitchens. We really help them plan for the work that we're doing, and we work around them and with their schedules. So,
Right.
yeah.
Where can they find you at? What's the best social media or website where they can have, a consultation or anything with you?
I think Facebook has been great. JBG Services LLC. Nextdoor has been a great avenue for a lot of people to check us out. www.jbgpainting.com. Instagram is a good source too for the younger people.
Call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
810-357-1207. I will answer
That's
the
right.
phone.
He does.
And
You're
I'll-
always used to having a phone ringing anyway.
I will
so.
talk to you on the phone. You don't got to text me. I'll answer your questions. I am a voice on the other end, I promise.
I respect that because I think, social media is great, but there's something about, just a quick phone call so that you can hear, they can walk you through it. So what was that number one more time?
810-357-1207.
1207. That's free, but the consultation may not be.
Oh, no, the
it's
consultation's
See?
free too.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Free
Yeah.
consultation. You can't beat that.
Free estimates.
Yeah.
See? The more you know.
We help with colors. We have tools to help diagnose those colors, help find those. We look at natural light. We look at unnatural light. We look at a lot of things. And when it comes to considering those paint colors and making those choices, we look at your artwork. We help you make those decisions. Big part of what we do. We like to listen and then give the feedback.
Very people-centric, I hear. This is personal. I'm going to have it still on camera. You mentioned flat paint with new houses, which that's where I'm at. What would be the best finishing for, your everyday typical wall that's cleanable?
So you have to really take into consideration how much natural light comes in.
Okay.
If you have a lot of natural light, you want to go with a duller finish. So, for example, Sherwin-Williams offers a product line, the Emerald series. They're just above flat is called matte. It's a washable finish.
Yeah.
You can step into the Benjamin Moore Regal series, get into eggshell. Then you start getting a little more glossy into satin, semi-gloss, which you usually would only use on trim. But the glossier the finish, the more durable, the more washable, but also shows the imperfections.
Right.
So if the sun hits the wall, you're going to see every little blemish in the wall.
Okay.
Now, we do fix all that stuff, but there's always that light just shows things just right. But there's ways to apply it.
Okay.
There's ways to finish the walls. That's why you call it professional.
That's right. I will not be doing that
And,
myself.
and our employees, there's a system that they work with, and we have W-2 employees.
Okay.
Meaning we use the same people every day.
Right.
They come to us, they report to us at the same time, they work together, and they work in tandem with each other. So the methods don't change from house to house. We show up on time every day. We show up Monday through Friday. You don't have to worry about a contractor not coming in a certain day because they want to go fishing.
Right.
We're there to take care of you, 100%.
Amazing. We're going to close this interview. I have 2 more questions for you guys. Both of you guys can answer on your own accord. Billy, I'll start with you. How can the community help Billy and Jeremy?
Call us.
Yeah.
If you want to repaint or refinish or you just need some advice. We're here to help. We're not gonna, just because if you don't necessarily have a paint job but you have a couple questions, give us a call. We'd be happy to help. I mean that's what makes us, I think, more custom than just your typical painter that's out there. So but yeah, call us, check out our website. That's the best thing. Word of mouth.
Okay. Jeremy?
You can help us, like Billy said, by calling us and keeping in mind that we are a fully insured and bonded company.
Okay.
We carry general liability and workers' comp. With that, there comes expenses. But we also give back as we do these things. And as things filter into JBG, we are all about giver's gain. We give all the time. And so you can always find somebody to do it cheaper. That person might be taking every penny you give them and putting it right in their pocket. There's nothing wrong with that. But to help for the community, to help us, and us to help the community, keep that in mind, and that's what you're doing by calling us.
Great. That's a great answer. That is. And then the last question is, what advice would you give someone that's looking to be an entrepreneur? I'll start with you, Jeremy.
You have to really be ready to be responsible for yourself and to know that you're gonna get out what you put in. You may not get it out right away.
Yeah.
You may put in a little more sometimes and scratch your head a little bit, but you got to wake up every day and you got to believe that what you're doing is the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really believe in yourself and know that each decision you're making is the right one. Maybe you aren't sure.
Yeah.
But even the littlest things, just do it right. Don't ever say this is good enough, because if you're saying something's good enough, it's not. Do it right.
Do it right.
Do it right. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
I think just to add to that, he's already nailed it. But yeah, you definitely have to have a passion for what you want to do and how you're going to do it, and educate yourself. Read some books. Get a business coach. Go to some networking events. Talk to other business owners. That was one of the first things we went to, was a chamber event, networking event, and I was thinking to myself, what are we doing here? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we talked to another painter, and it became like our mentor. And so that was really beneficial for me, coming from being an employee going to that entrepreneur.
Right.
So definitely passion, education, networking. That's my advice.
I agree with all of those too. I've talked to a couple of people where networking is such a huge thing here in Wilmington, especially because Wilmington is small but big at the same time. We touched on it's not always about what you know, but who you know, and just making that community of people, because word of mouth is so huge when you're an entrepreneur, that sometimes it's just, hey, I know a painter, or it's another business that doesn't have the capability or capacity to do it, and they're like, oh, well, I know someone else. And it's a beautiful thing of creating that community and networking with other people. I really want to thank you guys for coming on this show. It's been an amazing episode. If you've learned nothing else, don't have flat paint in your house. And if you need to fix it like I do, make sure you call Jeremy and Billie Gunn with JBG Services. You guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and always support a local business. I'm Rhema T. Bye.